What's up everyone, welcome back to another Warhammer 3 match review. We've got a good one today. We've got a 2v2, something a little different. We're going to be coming in on Black Ark. We've got Nurgle, Khorne, Bretonnia and the Lizards. We'll have a look at some builds when we jump on in here. Do me a favour, if you like any of the content you see, we're playing a ton of games. We're doing Overwatch, we got some up. We're doing Warhammer, we're doing Darktide, we're going to be doing some Destiny, some Warzone, a few other bits and pieces. Just drop a like, hit the sub, ring the bell, keep yourself updated on the content. And let's get into this one and have a look.
You may regale each other with your stories of bravery, but now we fight.
Alright, so coming in on the top objective, so 1 and 2 are myself on Khorne, and then we have a bit of a mix of Bretonnia and Nurgle up on the top by Sampe and Mark of Chaos, and then down the bottom here we've got a little bit of Bretonnia coming in, and then we've got the full Lizard push from Rob down here. So Rob's going to come in here with Big Daddy Mazdamundi coming in on his dinosaur. We've got the Thunderous one, which is the Ancient Stegodon, which is Regiment of Renown version. And then just a couple of Saurus Spears and Shields, and a little bit of range with the Razordon Hunting Pack. Myself, double Foot Cultist, bit of Marauder spam, some bonus versus large Minotaurs of Khorne, and then immediately we've got the Furies coming in to just try and get on any range or artillery that they've got. The double Soul Grinder of Nurgle is going to start laying some hurt down, and then of course we've got some skirmish cavalry here in the Mounted Archers of Yemen. We do also have some Toads coming in. Plague Toads of Nurgle are bonus versus infantry, so if they get in amongst that without getting shot, they'll do quite well. So we're just moving up here, waiting to see what we're doing. Valkyrie's flying around, see if she can tank some ammo. We've got some dogs coming in to try and chase off the archers, the horse archers there, and then down the bottom here we are starting to trickle in. We can see some of the peasant mobs coming in, some spears, and then also the foot squires, so the Regiment of Renown halberd infantry. Very interesting coming in the bottom there. We have some more summons coming in the backfield here. We've got some more Furies from myself. Just going to come around this bottom end and try and see if we can get into this artillery, as we have our hounds have caught up with the cavalry, and they're just now going to get shot a little bit, and they're just taking some damage, but they're holding them up. The Fury's been summoned in to counter that. We're just going to take some shots on the Marauders here. We've got the Foot Cultists moving up. You can see that one of our units got absolutely wrecked from all of the incoming fire there, but it's not too bad. We did get the spawn in for the Codal as well from the Lizardmen, and this is a massive blob fight about to happen up here. So we're going to look at that, and then big spell from Valkyrie. So on Valkyrie this time I bought the Demon Shield as normal, and then also the wind ability she has, the spear, so that came in there nice. Got some good damage in amongst a lot of units. I'm getting some good value there already, as Valkyrie is already at 318 and has barely, I don't think she's landed yet. More artillery shots coming in from Kugath and the 2 Soul Grinders as the Lizards push up this bottom objective. Now we're getting a lot of reinforcements coming in this bottom objective with more archer support coming in. We have the Knights Errant coming in as well, and then we also have Big Mazdamundi moving up to the top objective. You probably should stay down the bottom. We're not going too bad at the top. We've still got quite a bit of capture weight. We're doing fine as we summon in some more Furies. So we did get into the backfield down here, but it's been shut down relatively quickly. Valkyrie is still in there, but they've got plenty of support there. If those throwing axes start and this unimpeded throw in, they're going to do good damage as we get another summon in. So we've got a Beast of Nurgle coming in now into this top objective area. We summon in some of the Marauder Horsemen to help these dual weapons over here, these Marauders with dual weapons who are just getting eaten alive by Toads at the moment. They're not trading too well, but with the support of those Marauder Horsemen they should do fine. We're still just taking some volleys. They're getting good value in. We come down to the bottom objective, and there's starting a bit of wavering from Bretonnia, but they've got the cavalry in the backfield and some halberds, so that's going to need to be cleaned up and dealt with very quickly. Otherwise they're going to start causing some big problems. Nurgle just holding a bit of a battle line here as they use all the ammunition on their Soul Grinders. So the Soul Grinders have 472 value and 479 value, so not too bad considering they're still going to be very capable melee fighters. We've got big spawns coming out trying to stop Valkyrie in the backfield. She's not taking too much damage. We've been popping Demon Shields, and there it goes. So she's going to be completely fine back there for a little while. So she's going to have that Demon Shield where she can just do damage unimpeded as we get some chariots coming in from Nurgle. So we'll just have a quick look at the tactical view as we do, just to see what's happening across the whole battlefield. So we've got a few units of different sides wavering. So the Chaos Furies are wavering for me, and a few of my frontline units. Valkyrie in the back line is holding them up quite a lot, which is it's nice. It's given us some time to sort of reevaluate our front line and see what we want to push. We've got routing on both sides. The Lizards are holding down the bottom fine with more reinforcements coming in to try and hold back these Knights Errant and the Foot Squires who managed to slip past the side. But at the moment we are maintaining control of the top objective. We just need to look at pushing down to the bottom objective now to start and get that capture weight back, as it has flipped to Bretonnia down there. So we have some hounds coming in to try and finish off those spearmen who've come back from routing. Our Marauder horsemen are getting held up pretty hard, so that's not good. We've got some chariots coming through the midfield, just causing absolute havoc. So the lines are starting to sway a little bit as Bretonnia gets quite a lot of capture weight on this top objective. So we're going to need to push back there and see what we can do. We've got some more summons coming in, some more hounds coming in, anything to slow them up at the moment. Valkyrie is still in the backfield over here, doing quite well. She hasn't lost too much health since the last time we were over here, and she's just fighting away there. That will take a very long time to kill her, so it's just sort of one of those things where we probably don't want her in there for prolonged engagements because we're not getting the best value out of what she could be hunting down. But at the moment she's holding a lot of units up, and then we drop another spear, a second spear, for some good value there as well. The Lizards have managed to push off Bretonnia down this bottom. The quality of the Lizards just was too much in the end. The 42 weapon strength on these Saurus with shields is insane. The Lizards have such good stats on some of their units for their price. It's just very, very nice as a wave of Lizards come to reinforce this bottom point, and they have grinded everything down. Come around the backside of the objective, we get some more summons in, so we have some more Toads of Nurgle coming in, some two-handed weapons which we don't want to run into too much. We have pushed sort of into the Bretonnia spawn side with what's going on here. The Beast of Nurgle has now come over to try and put some hurt on Valkyria. Krugath is still throwing in as we get a lot of routing on this top side. So I've got some characters in here. So Repenance is in there as well. She's going to do some good work, especially with the support. I've got a Foot Cultist in there who will do okay, but he's not going to do anything too crazy against her. He'll get good trading value, but we really want him for his summon, so we don't want to make sure he doesn't die. We have one, but we've got a lot of beaten up units. We've got a lot of units on the left and right, but they have now got us in a double cap up the top, but we have managed to take back this bottom point, so that's not too bad. Chariots in the backfield. We've spawned in some Marauders with dual weapons to try and deal with some of the infantry units. We have quite a few low units which we probably could unsummon here, but looking how thin we are across the battlefield, it's probably easier to keep them on just for that little bit of capture weight that they hold, as they are moving back onto the point now. We really need to get Valkyrie out of this back fight and get her back with the troops to help stabilize the morale over here. As you see now, we've got a bit of a mass rout happening for Khorne over there. Krugath's just sitting on his back objective, still going. We're getting more summons in. So we've got the Pox Riders coming in for Nurgle. In the backside of the lower spawn, the Lizards have a very tight grasp on the bottom objective, and they are just happy to chill and wait and see what Bretonnia and Nurgle want to throw at them. Valkyrie is in the backfield. As we can look at her, she's taken next to no damage in amongst all those fighting, and her value has gone up to 1300, so she's gained almost 1000 value for no real loss, as spells get dropped in left and right just to try and start and work down these different units. Mazdamundi and his Ancient Stegodon are in the backfield causing havoc as well. The thickness of them will provide a bit of cover for a while, and the armor's quite nice, but if they stay back there too long and get cut off, it could be a very bad day for them. So our Foot Cultist up on the point has been fighting with their lord there, so that's not the best trade, but they're doing okay and they're holding. We've got the Soul Grinders in as well. They're going to be doing a lot of work. We've got another Soul Grinder coming in to reinforce, and then the two-handed axes are coming in as the Lizards then spawn another wave. Just been saving up and just spawning waves of 2 and 3 units at a time to really not have that trickle effect. And now this bottom objective is so tight, and we have our characters, Mazdamundi, we have Valkyria, we have the Stegodon in the backfield. It's tying up so many of their units that we can just afford to sort of hold on to our resources a little bit and do big pushes in groups of 2 and 3 at a time. We spawned some more Marauder Horsemen in just to help out with this fight on the far side against the two-handed axes. Valkyria is now routing off the Furies. The Catapult has also been routed off, and now Valkyria is freed up to go and do as she pleases. Mazdamundi's fighting well, the Ancient Stegodon's fighting well. They've got a lot of armor and they have a lot of health at base, so they're going to do just fine. He's going to want to keep an eye on Mazdamundi though, to make sure he doesn't stay in those prolonged engagements unsupported for too long. On this top objective with support from the lizards, we are doing quite well. And now it's sort of, you can see that their forces of Bretonnia and Nurgle are getting quite thin. So we have some toads coming in here, the Pox Riders coming in. I'm just going to try and finish off a unit of Marauders there and then start working on the Saurus Warriors with shields. So another tactical view, the battle has taken shape into sort of two distinct areas. So you've got on point 2, which is our home objective, and then almost in the spawn, like you can see how many units are being held up in the deployment zone of the Bretonnians and Nurgle forces there. So this is just some characters just holding back an absolute tide, which is when the lizards are going to decide now to push up and see if they can help put some pressure on and stay ahead. We've managed to take back objective 2. So now we have the capture weight backing our favour, and the gap was closed quite a bit while they had the double cap, but that's not too bad as we look at the value across the board. So 10.5k for myself, 5k for Rob, 10k for Chaos, and then nearly 9k for Hydra there. So the value across the board is relatively close, a couple of thousand different, but Nurgle has healing, so we're going to take that into account, and then the lizards also have healing. So it's probably a few thousand different still, but if we're looking at the overall of the quality of the forces on the field, with so much concentrated down in this bottom corner, it's just going to take Nurgle so much time to move all their forces around. Bretonnia have a bit more mobility, but, well, a lot more mobility, but they are also being tied up trying to hunt down this Stegodon and Mazdamundi as well. So they've committed a considerable amount of forces down to this back point to try and kill these characters off, while we are just sitting on these objectives, ticking points up as they just roll on down there. Kugath isn't someone we're going to want to invest like a lot of resources in, so we haven't really attacked him too much at all. We're just pushing the Minotaurs up. We really want to try and hunt down some Lords now to see if we can just reduce the morale down. I'll send the Minotaurs over there and they're going to start threatening that back objective. We only have the small unit of the Pox Riders of Nurgle on the home objective over here, as we've got plenty there to deal with them. So the main fight is down in this back corner at the moment, as they've sort of almost cleaned up Mazdamundi. The Stegodon has died. They've got a few other bits and pieces over here that just need cleaning up, but if you look at all the units over here, they've all taken quite a considerable amount of damage as well. So combined over here, this is going to get reduced down to no more than half in full unit value. So this catapult's going to do nice work. We need to do something to shut that down. But as all these forces sort of regroup and start moving their way up, they're going to look to threaten this bottom objective. But some strong characters or some strong infantry units will break a lot of these units that are sort of under 25% or at the 25% mark. As we send over the Spirit just to land on that catapult and shut that down, and that is going to do work. Without support and with no units relatively close by, Valkyrie is holding up the Horse Archers, and there you go, you get the Halberd summon in to try and fend off that catapult with a lot of range fire coming in, the big focus fire. Nurgle's going to push onto this bottom point and try and go straight through those Skink cohort, which they're going to do well on as we summon in some more reinforcements to help on the bottom point. So the top point now at home is completely secure. They've managed to rout off the Minotaurs and any other units that were over there, the Marauder Horsemen. But we do have enough capture weight. We've got both of our foot cultists still up, one very healthy, one at about 25%, so they're doing fine over there. Valkyrie is in the backfield still fighting, trying to cause some problems, so she's completely fine on her health. So we have a bit of a look. So this is something you probably want to avoid. So although they have killed these Saurus Warriors Shield, this type of grouping up, any sort of spell like a Burning Head or just any sort of wind-based spell or vortex-based spell, a Pit of Shades, will cause a lot of hurt and do a lot of damage. Probably rout off 3 of those units and do considerable damage to the other 2. Maybe try and get a unit to engage them in the front and then just start cycle charging them back and forward is a good idea. So the Spirit over here has taken considerable damage, but they've managed to rout off the catapult, so that's quite good for him. So he's now not going to take any prolonged fire, and it's allowed enough time for these Marauders to make it up onto the point, and the Ancient Stegodon has been resummoned. So that time spent back there and the input of cost and the amount of time that he was able to save resources to just resummon that unit back in after it healed up has sort of paid off in the end. You can see Nurgle and what's left of Bretonnia up here are really trying to push onto this back objective. They don't want to get threatened too much, but we just got so many units up here to move in and threaten that it's just causing too many problems. The units are low. Kugath is the only real healthy one over here in a massive way that could be a threat, but him alone, he's not going to do enough damage to get through everything to break that capture weight as Nurgle spawns in. Yet again, some more reinforcements, some great weapons, some marauders, just to try and get some support over here and some capture weight as we do start capturing that home objective. As for point 3, we're just sitting on the back corner of it. There's no need to rush up and do anything. Again, this is just a time thing. We're so close. We're at 1400 now on the points. So just having one unit hold back 4 and 5 units at a time is completely fine for us. We have no need to push forward, no need to overextend and get outflanked or get surrounded and killed quickly. If we can just sort of sit on these 2 objectives and then slowly threaten the home objective, then that's sort of all we need to do to secure the victory in this one. Big Kugath rolling on in, doing his thing. Let's go in and have a bit of a look as he tries to eat some of these marauders. Look at that size difference. He's just vomiting all over them. It's just insane. Don't want to get stuck in his belly as they roll him around. I don't know how those little guys underneath are carrying him around. It's going to be wild as we try and surround Kugath and just hold him in place. So further over, we have got a nice surround on that's the end. Well, we did have a nice surround, and that will be it for that replay. So we have a quick look in the background there, but yeah, I think in the end it was just the push in their spawn was a little bit too much, and then we were just thick enough on our objectives between the Khornite armor and the lizards to hold them back. But that will be it for this replay. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.